Lower Saxony is a German state situated in northwestern Germany and is second in area, with 47,624 square kilometers, and fourth in population among the 16 Länder of Germany. In rural areas, northern Low Saxon, a dialect of Low German, and Saterland Frisian, a variety of Frisian, are still spoken, but the number of speakers is declining. Lower Saxony borders on the North Sea, the states of Schleswig-Holstein, Hamburg, Mecklenburg-Vorpommern, Brandenburg, Saxony-Anhalt, Thuringia, Hessen, North Rhine-Westphalia, and the Netherlands. Furthermore, the state of Bremen forms two enclaves within Lower Saxony, one being the city of Bremen, the other, its seaport city of Bremerhaven. In fact, Lower Saxony borders more neighbors than any other single Bundesland. The state's principal cities include the state capital Hanover, Braunschweig, Lüneburg, Osnabrück, Oldenburg, Hildesheim, Wolfenbüttel, Wolfsburg and Göttingen. The northwestern area of Lower Saxony, which lies on the coast of the North Sea, is called East Frisia, and the 7 East Frisian islands offshore are popular with tourists. In the extreme west of Lower Saxony is the Emsland, a traditionally poor and sparsely populated area, once dominated by inaccessible swamps. The northern half of Lower Saxony, also known as the North German Plains, is almost invariably flat except for the gentle hills around the Bremen Geestland. Towards the south and southwest lie the northern parts of the German Central Uplands, the Weser Uplands and the Harz Mountains. Between these two lie the Lower Saxon Hills, a range of low ridges. Thus, Lower Saxony is the only Bundesland that encompasses both maritime and mountainous areas. Lower Saxony's major cities and economic centers are mainly situated in its central and southern parts, namely Hanover, Braunschweig, Osnabrück, Wolfsburg, Salzgitter, Hildesheim and Göttingen. Oldenburg, near the northwestern coastline, is another economic center. The region in the northeast is called the Lneburg Heath, the largest heathland area of Germany and in medieval times wealthy due to salt mining and salt trade, as well as to a lesser degree the exploitation of its peat bogs up until about the 1960s. To the north, the Elbe River separates Lower Saxony from Hamburg, Schleswig-Holstein, Mecklenburg, Western Pomerania and Brandenburg. The banks just south of the Elbe are known as Altes Land. Due to its gentle local climate and fertile soil, it is the state's largest area of fruit farming, its chief produce being apples. Most of the state's territory was part of the historic Kingdom of Hanover. The state of Lower Saxony has adopted the coat of arms and other symbols of the former kingdom. It was created by the merger of the state of Hanover with several smaller states in 1946. Geography. Location. Lower Saxony has a natural boundary in the North Sea and the lower and middle reaches of the River Elbe. Although parts of the city of Hamburg lie south of the Elbe, the state and city of Bremen is an enclave entirely surrounded by Lower Saxony. The Bremen-Oldenburg Metropolitan Region is a cooperative body for the enclave area. To the southeast, the state border runs through the Harz, low mountains that are part of the German Central Uplands. The northeast and west of the state, which form roughly 3/4 of its land area, belong to the North German Plain, while the south is in the Lower Saxon Hills, including the Weser Uplands, Liner Uplands, Schaumburg Land, Brunswick Land, Unterreichsfeld, Elm and Lappwald. In northeast Lower Saxony is Lneburg Heath. The heath is dominated by the poor sandy soils of the Geest, whilst in the central east and southeast in the lowest board zone there are productive soils with high natural fertility. Under these conditions, with loam and sand-containing soils, the land is well developed agriculturally. In the west lie the county of Bentheim, Osnabrück Land, Emsland, Oldenburg Land, Ammerland, Oldenburg Munsterland, and, on the coast, East Frisia. The state is dominated by several large rivers running northwards through the state. The Ems, Weser, Alle and Elbe. The highest mountain in Lower Saxony is the Wurmberg in the Harz. For other significant elevations see List of mountains and hills in Lower Saxony. Most of the mountains and hills are found in the southeastern part of the state. The lowest point in the state, at about 2.5 meters below sea level, is a depression near Friepsum in East Frisia. The state's economy, population and infrastructure are centered on the cities and towns of Hanover, Stade, Celle, Braunschweig, Wolfsburg, Hildesheim and Salzgitter. Together with Göttingen in southern Lower Saxony, they form the core of the Hanover-Braunschweig-Göttingen-Wolfsburg metropolitan region. Regions General Lower Saxony has clear regional divisions that manifest themselves both geographically as well as historically and culturally. In the regions that used to be independent, especially the heartlands of the former states of Brunswick, Hanover, Oldenburg and Schaumburg-Lippe, there is a marked local regional awareness. By contrast, the areas surrounding the Hanseatic cities of Bremen and Hamburg are much more oriented towards those centers. List of regions. Sometimes there are overlaps and transition areas between the various regions of Lower Saxony. Several of the regions listed here are part of other, larger regions, that are also included in the list. Just under 20% of the land area of Lower Saxony is designated as nature parks, i.e., Dummer, Elbhohenwendland, Elmlappwald, Harz, Lüneburger Heide, Munden, Terra Vita, Sollingvogler, Lake Steinhude, Südheide, Weser Uplands, Wildeshausen Geest, Ortangam or Bargeveen. Climate. Lower Saxony falls climatically into the north temperate zone of Central Europe that is affected by prevailing westerlies and is located in a transition zone between the maritime climate of Western Europe and the continental climate of Eastern Europe. This transition is clearly noticeable within the state, whilst the northwest experiences an Atlantic to subatlantic climate, with comparatively low variations in temperature during the course of the year and a surplus water budget. The climate towards the southeast is increasingly affected by the continent. This is clearly shown by greater temperature variations between the summer and winter halves of the year and in lower and more variable amounts of precipitation across the year. This subcontinental effect is most sharply seen in the Wendland, in the Weser uplands and in the area of Helmstedt. The highest levels of precipitation are experienced in the Harz because the Lower Saxon part forms the windward side of this mountain range against which orographic rain falls. The average annual temperature is 8 degrees Celsius. Neighboring states fellow Länder bordering on Lower Saxony are Bremen, Hamburg, Schleswig-Holstein, Mecklenburg-Vorpommern, Brandenburg, Saxony-Anhalt, Thuringia, Hesse, North Rhine-Westphalia. No other German state has so many neighbors. Lower Saxony also has a border with the Dutch provinces of Overijssel, Drenthe and Groningen as well as part of the German North Sea coast. Administration. Lower Saxony is divided into 38 districts: Ammerland, Aurich, County of Bentheim, Celle, Kloppenburg, Cuxhaven, Diepholz, Emsland, Friesland, Gifhorn, Goslar, Göttingen, Hamelin-Pyrmont, Hanover Region Squared, Harburg, Heidekreis, Helmstedt, Hildesheim, Holzminden, Leer, Lutschau-Dannenberg, Lüneburg, Nienburg, Northeim, Oldenburg, Osnabrück, Osterholz, Osterode, Peen, Rothenburg, Schaumburg, Stade, Uelzen, Vector, Verdun, Bessemarsch, Whitmund, Wolfenbüttel. Furthermore, there are 8 urban districts and 2 cities with special status: Braunschweig, Delmenhorst, Emden, Göttingen, Hanover Squared, Oldenburg, Osnabrück, Salzgitter, Wilhelmshaven, Wolfsburg. Following the Göttingen Law of 1 January 1964, the town of Göttingen is incorporated into the rural district of Göttingen, but is treated as an urban district unless other rules apply. On 1 November 2016, the districts of Osterode and Göttingen will merge under the name Göttingen, not influencing the city's special status. squared following the law on the region of Hanover. Hanover merged with the district of Hanover to form the Hanover region, which is treated mostly as a rural district, but Hanover is treated as an urban district since the 1st of November 2001 unless other rules apply.